let me know. Um, I can get rid of this now. So I've been working forever on this split screen situation, and I've just been dying to have this happen. So I'm tickled that we now have this. Um, I have been playing around with it and had a little audio feedback. So I am hoping that you can hear me. Um, I don't have a way of knowing until after I do the feedback, because sometimes I have the mic muted on this camera, but not obviously you need it to hear me. So I'm still also working on better video quality, to have have a different camera besides the one that's in the computer. So I'm working on it inch by inch. But here's what we're doing tonight. And again, please, if I see anybody come on, I'll ask that you give me some feedback and let me know if you can't hear me. So what we're doing tonight is a wreath alternative from a vintage uh, frame. So this is an old frame, and it's really super old because it had the convex um, glass for it. I forget what they call that. But anyway, I still have that glass, and I'm probably crazy for doing this, but I can always put it back in if I decide I don't want this look anymore. But I think this will be something really cool for your front door. And you could leave it as is and just skip it and go to the next step. But I always like to paint things, and I'm going to use Dixie Belle's buttercream tonight, and I'm going to distress it. So, and if I want to give you a real close-up look now of the paint, I can say, okay, this is weird. I can say we're using Dixie Belle's buttercream. So, okay, so I am going to ask if you come on and you can't hear me, please comment so that I know that my technology is working. And obviously, if you can't hear me, you didn't hear me ask. So, or if it's quiet, if it's really quiet, just let me know. So I'm going to get started painting here, and I'm using Dixie Belle's Belle brush. I've been into this brush lately for lots of things. It's not a synthetic brush. Um, it's a natural bristle brush, but I just really like the shape of it. It's great for blending. So I'm picking this up and getting along the side here. It gets in the details nicely, and it's just nice and soft. So I have my screen door painted blue. So it's like vintage duck egg blue. And then the inside door is just wood. So I didn't want this dark frame, so I thought, well, I'll paint it with the buttercream, and then what I'm going to put on it will really pop and look very fresh for spring. So I'm actually going to show this filming tomorrow for the Money Talk segment of Around the Alleghenies, and I'll be showing this on that segment along with a few other projects. So again, if you can't hear me, please just let me know. I'm trying to yell. And so far, so good. I haven't gotten any feedback from the other device. So hopefully I have everything adjusted properly now. And hopefully I'll remember how to do it next time if it works right. Hope you're all having a good week. We actually didn't open our store today because of the weather. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm over winter. Really way over it. Ready for spring. It's just every time I look out, it's snowing or something, because I didn't even know we were supposed to get snow today. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, but then I hear we're supposed to get hit again. I don't have any details on that, but some people make it sound like it's going to be a foot of snow, and then other my app on my phone, it doesn't say that, but it says like 1 to 3 inches, but it's been wrong before, and I think that's what's the name of that one? The Weather Channel or whatever it is. It's supposed to be the ultimate in weather forecasting, but it's proven me wrong. It's proven them wrong many times. So, okay, so I already have one code on here. This is going to be a really quick project, you will see, but it is one of those nights that I must use the hairdryer to give it a quick dry, and then I'll put a second coat on there really quick. So I cooked all day. That's what I did with the day. Of course, I did the ice removal. I'm putting my brush in a baggie. Oh, hi, Sadia. Is that how you say your name? Pretty name. You're in Florida. Lucky you. Really lucky you. Okay, forgive this hairdryer. So I guess that means you can see me, or you can hear me, rather. You might not hear me now because I'm going to put the hairdryer on, but I'm going to dry this real quick. Okay, awesome. Sorry about the hairdryer noise. Great. Okay, I'll try to keep that short and sweet. Okay, oh, I'm so glad you can hear. You probably didn't want to hear the hairdryer, but necessary evil to get this project done. So I hope that you like this setup then, the double screen. So I'm just thrilled to be able to finally have that. I've been wanting this forever. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to try to work on some other alternatives so that we have even a better picture. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this little setup. So I'm going to go ahead and put a second coat on here. And again, we're using Dixie Belle's Buttercream. And this is the chalk mineral paint. We do have a new line of paint called Silk. And if you saw the step-by-step video on Saturday, I used it on a piece of furniture. And I am loving that paint. But I still will always love chalk mineral paint too. And the more I use Silk, the more I will try to explain to you guys the difference between them and just demonstrate a little bit more with the Silk so you can see. And they're okay, let's see if we can do this without missing a beat here. Sorry about that. Now we have Bixby. Okay. Yeah, we just came unhinged. Okay, we're back. So I don't know what caused that, but anyway, so I apologize for that. If that's all that happens, then we're in good shape. So anyway, I do love Silk, and I still will always love the chalk mineral paint. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that's happening Because whenever we talk about furniture painting, we talk about bleed through. Whenever we paint on a dark wood, it's a possibility that it'll bleed through when you're painting with a light paint. So I'm going to put that flower, see if I can, that one right there. Can you see there's a little red spot in there? That is bleed through. The tannins in the wood are bleeding through the paint. So I'm going to just leave it, but I just wanted you to see that that's a perfect example, and it's something seeing early on. Now, I'll kind of monitor this and see if I see it anywhere else happening on the piece. But if I do, and if I was painting a piece of furniture, the answer to that would be Dixie Belle's Boss. I would coat that with Boss, and that prevents that bleed through. So I'm just, kind of glad that happened so that I could show you that little phenomenon. Okay, I think I scared my dog. So if he starts barking, because now he's looking at the door, so I hope no one's out there. Anyway, I scared him in the first place with the phone falling. So my apologies. Sorry, Grizz. It's okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on this because I don't think I'll be putting any more coats on here. I was actually just planning on using a, what's the matter, Grizz? I hope he doesn't start barking. I also hope no one's out there. I'm going to do the hairdryer one more time, and I apologize. Oh, geez. It's live. It's live. Come here, Grizz. No barking. Sometimes there's people outside, and he just, he's pretty good about barking, though. So let me go ahead and dry this. This project is super easy tonight. Okay, so my plan is to use some sandpaper, and I have some. It's 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna go over all of these details. There was a little bit of gold in there, and that's coming through, which is pretty cool. But there's little flowers on here. I'm also going to do the frame on it, like around the edge. The paint's not 100% dry, so that it's kind of, getting on my sandpaper, but that's okay. It's really, it's pretty well dry. It's just not set, okay? I don't think I can zoom on that. I just hope I don't knock it out of the frame again. I love the way this looks. Are you a shabby chic lover? So I think it looks really cool. With this camera, you have to go the opposite of the way that you want it to look. I could use wax on this as well if I wanted to, but tonight I just thought I would just do a simple distressing. It's going to look really vintage. It is really vintage. It's very old. The furniture that I painted on Saturday's step-by-step video was marked 1927. So not technically an antique yet, but soon, in a few years. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more in here. I said I kind of really like the way it just brought out the details in here. That's really what I was going for. I'll use both of these cameras. I'll use this one to give you a close-up. You can see that. And then I'll use this one to give you the main idea. So my hanger is here. So this is going to be my top. So the next part is, this is so easy. It's unreal. But I like this idea. So some silk flowers, just real simple. I cut them down a little bit, and I'm not a really good flower arranger. So I kind of left them in their bunches. Like these are some, I don't know what they are, but they're these. And then there's a little bunch of, they're almost like a baby's breath or something. And then there's these blue daisy type things. So what I thought I would do would be just kind of center the pink flowers in the front, and then take these larger ones and then just have them a little bit higher in the back. Okay. So that's all there is to that. Again, let me find the top of my frame again. Here's the top of my frame. So I just want my flowers to just be along the side of the frame here. It's kind of like right about there. I'm going to try to pull it back a little bit so you see. Now I have ribbon here that I'm going to use to attach it with. So I'm going to lay this down. This beats moving the screen all the time. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go as kind of long with, well, that's as far as I'm gonna go because that's all the ribbon there is, but I think that'll work. And I'm gonna slip this underneath. I'm gonna move this a second. And I'm gonna slip this ribbon underneath my frame. And I want it to be flat, and then I'm going to pull it up and pretty even there. So, okay, so that's about where I want the middle of my, I know this is kind of hard to see, but it's sheer. It's real sheer. So, make sure it's even again. Okay. All right, so let's take these flowers back again. And you could use some floral wire if you wanted to. I want that to kind of be down there. But I just want to tie this on here. Move it up a little bit. Okay, and before I put a second knot in there, I'm just going to kind of fluff that up a little bit. And I think I'll tie my bow instead of doing a second knot. Okay, I'm not a good bow tire either. I'm a better painter than a flower arranger or bow tire. Okay. I want great big loops. I want it to be tight enough to hold the flowers on. What do we think of that? Is the bow too big, you think? You see. I kind of think the bow's a little bit big. So I'm going to try to condense the bow a little bit just by tugging on it, because I really just did like a shoelace bow, I guess, if you will. Now I could tie this again to be sure, but you know what? I think I'm going to leave it at that. All right, and then on the ends of the ribbon, I forget what they call this. There's a word for doing this, but I'm just gonna put a notch in there. Get rid of that little piece. See, just put that little notch in there. And this kind of ribbon can fray, so it might be a good idea to use fray check on that. Okay, did the same thing on the other side. And you know, this is totally non-commitment as far as a project goes, because I can easily untie that, change the ribbon, change the flowers. So you could really change this for any season. But right now, I think it looks really nice and fresh for spring. So what do you think? You like it? I have some other projects that I'm going to be doing on the show that I record tomorrow. And there are some fun things too. So, but there are wreath alternatives. So that's all I got for you tonight. We've only been on for 23 minutes. I can't believe that it actually took me a few hours prior to getting on to make sure that my setup was right. And I was even trying another thing. So I have a GoPro camera. I'm trying to use it. And I had to download all this stuff on my computer. And I really don't think I did it right. So I have another thing that I discovered too, that I can use the phone for the way of filming through the computer. So I have to just download an app. So technology is just so much. So I'm going to have to undo what I did on this computer, because I really loaded a lot of stuff. Oh, Sadia, I'm so glad you love it. I'm glad you think it's beautiful. I actually do too. I'm pretty pleased with it. And since I was sort of snowed in today, I could have gone somewhere if I wanted to, but you know, once a commitment was made to stay home, I was more than happy to just stay home. So this frame was in my basement, the flowers were in my basement, and the ribbon was up in my craft room. So, so it was really definitely put together. When you're like me and you're a hoarder, you have all these things laying around. So, you know, that's what the junk's all for. You love the flowers on the side. Oh, good. Yeah, I do too. I like that better than putting it down at the bottom or the top. So I just think it's a nice spray. And again, you could change this. I can really see this at Christmas time. It would be beautiful. So, okay. Well, listen, I am so glad you gave me some feedback tonight and let me know that everything was working. So I am glad you joined me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening as well as the rest of your week. And I do have some news. I'm always asking for subscribers so that we can go live using a different device other than the computer. So even though we worked this situation out, I still looking to grow. And I have a contest that's going because we reached 500 subscribers and on our way to 1,000. So if you want the details on how to win the $500 prize, it's a variety of Redesign with Prima, Dixie Belle products. There's some candles in there. It's really a cool package. Check out my Instagram page at La Vintage Decor, and then you'll get the details and see how to win. So, all right, thank you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next Tuesday for Tuesday Talk, and every day for You Learn Something New, and on Saturdays, Step by Step. Take care. Bye-bye.